in the fucking games, which I think is huge for the would be huge for the NFL.
Yeah.
Because people like in America, you think of the NFL, it's like okay, it's the biggest sport, right? But that's not how it is around the world.
Hmm.
Like football's big here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And Canada is the only other professional football league, right?
I think there's like a Japanese football league too. I just think it's like a lot smaller.
I had no fucking idea. Interesting. Okay.
Or I think China has a league. China or Japan has a league, but I know
Okay.
it's like definitely not on the same level as the CFL,
Hmm.
which is obviously smaller than the NFL. But
Yep.
yeah, man, I did want to bring that up because I thought that was kind of interesting that that dude was saying that shit, and like just thought that was a good topic, man.
No, absolutely.
Um, let's talk some baseball though. So pretty crazy weekend. The Yankees dropped 2 out of 3 to the Detroit Tigers. Um, so they have, I think, a 1 game lead on the. Oh no, they're tied with the Orioles now because the Orioles won today. So they're both
Yep.
tied for the AL East. The
Orioles
Guardians,
have the tiebreaker, by the way.
yeah, they do because they won more. They won more games between the two of them.
Hmm.
The Guardians dropped 3 in a row to Milwaukee. They now their lead in the Central is shrunk. They're only, I believe, two
Two
games.
games behind Minnesota,
Yeah,
who won 3 out of 4 this weekend.
2 games up on Minnesota. Minnesota's a tough series coming up this week though. And the Royals took 3 in a row against the Cincinnati Reds. So they hold a 3.5 game lead on the Red Sox, who are chasing
Yep.
them. The Mariners, I mean, Ben, this is just dog shit team. They dropped fucking 5 out of 6 this week,
Yep.
to the Tigers and the and the Pirates combined. So they're 5.5 back in the wild card, and they're now 3 back in or 3.5 back in the AL West. 3.5, right? 3.5 or 4.5.
They are four
Four
back
games
in
back.
the
Yeah.
AL West. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the wild card screen.
Yeah.
So Mariners. It's looking very bleak, Ben, for their playoff chances at this point.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Best pitching staff in baseball.
What's even crazier to think about though, too, Ben, is they had a 10 game lead in June.
Yeah.
10
Offense
games.
has just I mean, we talked about a couple teams' offense just falling off a cliff. But this is like they fell off the cliff and hit fucking rocks on the way down.
Yeah. I
Like
mean, they
this
never
is
really had an
just
offense, so.
incredible. They even added. I thought the Randy Rosarina ad was great.
Yep.
I thought that was a huge pick. I thought that would have been a nice kind of jolt in the arm.
Yep.
And he's been ice cold.
Yeah. It's been
And
it's been bad. He had a
you
five
know,
he struck out 5 times in
yeah.
1 game on Saturday.
Well, and that's not Rosarina. So I'm wondering if he's gonna stick around in this. He's on club control for 1 more year, right?
Yeah, I think he has 1 more year left.
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna be a trade asset in the off season.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because
like, if you're trading him, I mean, to be honest, they didn't give up a ton for him. But if you're trading him after this, like, you're selling really low. Like, you're not. You might as well keep him and see if he could turn it around. In my
I
opinion,
will, I'll give him some prospects
if
for Rosarina.
you're the Giants,
Hmm.
fuck no, dude.
I
Like,
know you don't necessarily need him, but
bro, coming off the year he had this year, I mean, dude,
yeah, we're not talking great prospects. Plus, none of the Giants prospects are looking great right now. So,
but that's what I'm saying. If you're the Mariners, dude, like, why sell low like that though? You might as well hold on to him and hope he has a better year because like
yeah.
you're gonna trade him and you're gonna get like you know, two mid-level to low-level prospects in a team's farm system.
Yeah, and then hope that like one of them can at least do something.
Yeah, so I would just hold on to him and hope he turns it around next year. I think the dumb acquisition they made was Justin Turner. I mean,
I know, yeah.
he's fucking like useless out there, dude. Like
Yeah.
he can't hit a fastball anymore, And on the flip side, the Blue Jays have looked a lot better since they traded him and just started playing Horowitz and Clement more. Like they look a lot better. So
Yeah.
that's the thing with the trade deadline, dude. Is like the Tigers, for example. Like the Tigers traded away like veterans and like now their lineup. They brought up all the young guys and like their lineup looks so much better now, dude. Like
Yep.
I know they're not like tearing the laces off the ball, but they're getting timely hits when they need them.
Yep. Huge win today. And they're on a 2-game win streak, so 6-4 in their last 10. That's
Yeah, they're playing
for
some.
what they were doing even just like 2-3 weeks ago. It's positive.
They're playing some good ball, man.
Yeah.
They are. The Padres dropped 2 out of 3 to the fucking Rockies. I mean, that team just cannot win in Colorado, bro. It's fucking
No.
crazy.
But they're still 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah, Diamondbacks got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa.
Insane.
The Braves, which we're gonna
Wait,
talk.
Diamondbacks won one of those.
No, Diamondbacks lost all 3.
Wow, you're right. Diamondbacks lost all 3.
They came back today and tied it in the ninth,
Mm-hmm.
6-6. But then they couldn't get a hit in extra innings. I
Yeah, I was thinking the first game where they lost 5-4, but
honestly, I think the Diamondbacks were due for regression, and I think we're seeing it right
yeah,
now. Like a lot of their guys, like I don't know, they're like average guys, and like they were just like having great fucking month, dude. Like Josh Bell, and Josh Bell's like come all the way back to earth. Um,
yeah. Good thing is though for them they play Miami next.
yeah, Miami's playing some decent ball too, though.
Decent.
They've been all right. What else happened? The Giants A's split, so the
Yep.
Giants are 4 back. The Braves took 2 out of 3 against the Angels. However, they may have lost Austin Riley for the rest of the season, and if that's the case,
What happened there? I did not see that today.
he got hit in the hand.
Ooh, fuck.
So and he left the game, and we don't know we don't know yet. We don't know yet, but
God, that team just cannot stay
some
healthy.
serious bad luck that in that
Yeah.
some voodoo, bro. They need to fucking sage that fucking locker room at the end of this year, bro. Like some of their guys we talked about before the season, we talked about it early in the season, we've talked about it all year. Like we knew some of these guys were gonna regress, but I mean, like
Mhm.
losing Acuna, losing Albies, losing fucking Reynaldo Lopez. I mean, dude, they've lost everybody, Ben. Like this team just cannot fucking stay healthy, and it's
Yep.
insane.
Yep.
And so now, and then Solaire's been hurt since they traded for him, and so now this team, if they lose Riley though, that I mean, you could basically pack them up, bro. And then that makes the Giants' chances at making the playoffs a little bit easier. But and the Giants have a 3-game set against the White Sox coming up that they
Yep,
have to
that's huge.
they have to take advantage of this, dude.
Yeah. And who do we have pitching wise? Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see what's on our schedule here. We've got
Webb for the first
Harrison
game.
versus Cannon, Ray versus Martin, and then Webb versus Crochet. Those are 3 games we can win.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think tomorrow's game is going to be the most difficult with Harrison versus Cannon.
Have to fucking win this series, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you go into Seattle.
Yep, and those are winnable games too. Seattle's kind of
Yeah.
playing bad, and the Mets have to play. They play Baltimore to start this week. The Braves play Philly, and like I said, if Austin Riley's out, I mean, you could basically pack them up.
Yeah.
So really, you just need to really worry about the Mets.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the Diamondbacks could fall out. Who knows? But I mean, they are playing the Marlins.
Who do the Mets have?
The Mets have
Baltimore. Yeah.
to start
That's going
this
to be a
week.
tough 3-game set.
Yeah, they'll probably
That's going to be a great 3-game set.
they'll probably win tomorrow.
Yeah, well, they're probably going to win the next 2 games, to be honest. You got Mean Dean going on Tuesday, so
Actually, I
Trevor
think
Rogers versus Peterson, and then Mean Dean versus Quintana.
Dean could be all right against that Mets lineup. Trevor Rogers, though, not so much.
Yeah.
Not excited about that matchup. The Dodgers, they lost, or they won 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. Um, they hold a 3.5 game lead, right? On the no 3 game lead on
Uh,
the Padres.
Dodgers a 3 game lead.
Three
Yep.
game lead, and then the Phillies. Obviously, the NL East is basically fucking chalk, and so is the NL Central. The NL Central is just a comedic fucking division, dude. Like
Yep.
these teams, like will all make like a run for a week, and you're like, oh, they might have a chance, and then they fucking falter like the Reds this weekend, and
Yep.
the Reds swept the Cardinals and looked like they were just finding their groove, and then they just got absolutely fucking just curb stomped by the fucking Royals this weekend, dude. The Royals outscored them 28-3, Ben.
Uh, Which is insane
28-3, bro.
because the Royals don't win games against good teams.
I mean,
Except for this weekend.
maybe the Reds aren't a good team.
Yeah. Well, we knew the Reds were at least a year away. We thought the Reds were going to be close to that just above 500. And I mean, I'm thinking that bet that I've got for 81 and 81 is, and they're only 4 games back right there, but I think that's shot.
It's gonna be fucking close.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I don't know what to make of that team because like last year they were good and this year they just like Spencer Steer's taking a step back and I know he was hurt to start the year, but and obviously Matt McClain hasn't played. But I mean like their whole team like Will Benson took like a 3 steps back from last year.
Yep.
Fucking like all their guys just were way better last year and this year they're just not good. And Noelvi Marti fucking he looks like shit. So they might want to figure that out relatively quickly. But anyways, fucking the Reds, man, that's a fucking shitty ball club out there in Cincinnati. The Pirates obviously went on that massive losing streak, and I mean they basically put themselves out. They're 2-8 in their last 10, 7.5 back at the final wild card. So I really think the NL wild card, really think it's down to, you know, basically 3 teams for that last spot: the Giants, Mets, and Braves. And with the Austin Riley thing, if they lose Austin Riley for an extended period, it's a real good chance they don't make the playoffs.
Agree. Absolutely agree on that.
I thought that Giants Braves series was gonna determine a lot, and the Braves took 3 out of 4, and like I thought that was massive. But then this Austin Riley thing, dude, and now I'm like, dude, holy shit, if they
Hmm.
lose him, bro, like they have like nothing. Who are they gonna put at third? Whit Merrifield every day, and then they gotta play like
Yeah, it could
Zach
be wet.
Short. Dude, Zach Short's fucking trash, man. Would not like that one there. Um, but I mean, you look at baseball in general, Ben, and it's like last night I'm sitting there and I'm trying to think of like, who do I really like to make the World Series in the AL and the NL, and it's like I could make a case for every fucking team in the AL because they all have flaws.
Yeah.
The Yankees
It,
pitching fucking
and
sucks.
it's not even a flaw. It's a major flaw.
Yeah, like the
It's a
Yankees
major flaw.
the Yankees pitching, their starting rotation and their bullpen haven't really been that good. Uh, the Orioles, I mean, their starting rotation is just in fucking shambles, dude.
Hmm.
Like, and their bullpen sucks too. The Twins, they lose Joe Ryan basically for the year, which is a huge fucking blow. But somehow they still get good pitching. You know what I mean? Their biggest issue is they have 3 good relievers, I would say two excellent relievers, and then a good reliever. But after that, like their bullpen is a fucking disaster, dude.
And are those pitchers going to get the luck in the playoffs that they need? It's a lot different of a fucking series when you aren't getting that.
Well, I think that's the issue with the Royals is because you look at the
That's
Royals and it's like, man, they've had a good season pitching wise, starting rotation, but they have 3 guys in their starting rotation who the advanced numbers have basically said that they've had a ton of fucking luck. So it's like,
Yep.
when is that luck gonna turn? And we've already seen it kind of turn with Seth Lugo a little bit.
Yeah, Lugo got shelled last game. I'm gonna
So
talk about that later.
now it's like, you know, do we trust the Royals in a fucking playoff series? You know what I mean? And the Royals are hitting like 306 with runners in scoring position. Like that's like I don't know how sustainable that is. I mean, it's been
Yeah,
sustainable this long, but who knows how long
isn't
it.
going to continue.
Yeah, and then the Guardians. I mean, they're starting pitching. They've lost a lot of guys, but they've gotten guys back like Bybee and Gavin Williams and stuff. But now they can't hit all of a sudden. Their offense is totally fucking regressed. I mean, the Astros might be my favorite team in the AL at this point because
Which fucking sucks.
yeah, I mean they have their bullpen's solid. They have a good lineup, and their starting rotation does enough.
Yeah, I think Kikuchi was a good ad in that sense.
Yeah,
He's someone
absolutely.
that will do enough.
And they're gonna get Kyle Tucker back at some point, and that's like a huge addition. So
Mhm.
it's like I look at the AL and like that might be my favorite. The Astros might be my favorite team out of the AL. As crazy as
Yeah,
that sounds.
ugh, yeah, fucking gross, man.
Yeah, but I don't see anyone. It's hard to trust anyone else
Yep.
in that. What's your thoughts on the NL?
I mean, it's a. I think you're absolutely right. It's a wide open opportunity for those four teams. Sorry, three teams: Atlanta, New York, San Francisco. I think St. Louis is probably out of it at this point. And we talked about in the last podcast about the schedule moving forward, and it's going to be really difficult with that. Um, yeah, I think San Diego has definitely solidified themselves for that top wild card, if not the division. Yeah, it might be interesting to go and check the odds for the division right now too, and see where they're sitting at that because I definitely think they can catch the Dodgers.
For the Padres?
Um, what's that?
The Padres?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, especially with the Glass now elbow
yeah,
injury now.
another injury for pitching. So I'm wondering if we throw in the Diamondbacks for that, to make it a four-team race for those last two spots versus a three-team race for the last spot. Because I mean, you talk about AL having question marks. The Diamondbacks have question marks too. You were saying that they've gone through an up and probably have some regression right now. And I think that's the case. You see a lot of guys that are streaking towards uh, the downfall in offensive numbers right now. Corbin Carroll being one of them.
Carroll's
And I think
actually he's been hot.
I thought Corbin Carroll was been at least the last two or three games he has not been hot.
No, he's been their hottest hitter probably in that entire lineup. He had another home run today. He's hit two in the series, two two
I
big
thought
ones.
Corbin was not great
Nah,
versus Colorado and like the first two games in Tampa Bay.
he's been playing. He's probably been their best hitter. I think the guys that are really regressing in that lineup. Obviously, they lost Ketel Marte to injury, and then he left the game with that ankle injury again today. So
Today, yeah.
he might be hurt even longer. And then uh, Josh Bell. I mean, Josh Bell hit like 6 home runs in the first fucking week after the All Star break, and then I mean he's cooled down significantly. I don't even think he had a hit against Tampa. I think he had one hit in the whole series. Uh,
Okay, Rockies, Corbin Carroll. Okay, one for four, two for three.
yeah, he's probably been their hottest hitter.
And
Perdomo's kind of cooled down a little
an
bit,
0 for 1. Huh.
but
Yeah, McCarthy's cooled down.
yeah,
Perdomo's cooled down.
Jake
Bella's cooled
Josh
down.
Bell's cooled down. Yeah, like a handful of their guys have just cooled down significantly. Lourdes Gurriel has
Yeah,
cooled
Zach Allen
down.
has not looked good.
Zach Gallen didn't look good. Merrill Kelly didn't look good.
Yeah.
Uh, and Ryan Nelson looked great on Friday, but then again, their bullpen, dude, just loves to blow fucking games, bro. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with it, but because they got some good guys in their bullpen, I don't know, I don't know, but we'll see what happens there with
Yeah, I think this is going to be a huge topic next week because we've got some tough series this week for all four of those teams. Or sorry, not tough series, but interesting series for all four of those teams.
Yeah, I mean the Padres
So
that set against Minnesota. That's gonna be a good fucking series.
yeah, again, I'm not really worried about the Padres. I'm more of, looking at San Francisco, Chicago, easier for San Francisco. Mets have Baltimore, which is going to be really difficult. Atlanta has Philly, which is going to be really difficult. Um, Arizona has, who does Arizona have? Miami, which is probably not going to be too difficult, but if Arizona loses that series, that's going to be huge. If the Mets win that series, that's going to be huge. If San Francisco loses that series, it's going to be huge. If Atlanta wins that series, it's going to be huge. And that's going to sway things.
Yep.
Um, Next week is going to be a completely different story from from what we have. And then if we move on, let's look at let's look at Thursday. Who's that second series that we have for each of these teams? Uh, let's see. We've got the Mets for San Diego.
Oh, that's a big series.
That's a big series. Yeah. Atlanta
That one's in that one's in San Diego, right?
in San Diego. Yeah. Atlanta. Wait, Atlanta has a four-game series against Philly.
Yeah.
Yikes. And then they go to Washington. So if they can't, they've got Washington versus, or sorry, they got Sale versus Gore going up. So that should be a good way to start that series. But if they don't win that series against Washington, I think that's, cake for them. New York, San Diego, you've got San Francisco, Seattle, winnable games, but who knows?
Is that one in
Uh,
Seattle?
that's in Seattle. Yeah.
Damn, that's the only thing is like Seattle plays so much better at home than they do on the road.
Mhm.
If you can get them on the road, they're like very, very beatable. But if you get them at
Yeah.
home, they're a little bit 37 and 26 at home, and then 27 and 35 on the road.
And then Arizona goes to Boston. That's tough.
Yeah,
This is going to be an interesting week.
that is a tough. Those are tough series, dude.
I mean, the wild card is still wide open.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's really open until the final day, but you definitely want to be within like 2 games. I would
Yeah.
say going into the final month, but you know, a lot of these teams too, like they play each other,
Hmm.
especially in the NL because the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Giants are all in the same division and
Divisional sim.
they're all battling. So, you know,
And New York and Atlanta, same thing.
and one series can like totally change, like if the Giants were to sweep the Diamondbacks, you know what I mean? Like that puts them that much closer, but it's gonna be wild. But last year we saw like the Rangers, they were like hot, and then they went absolutely cold like the last 2 months of the season, and then for some reason, dude, they just fucking got hot in the playoffs, and like you just gotta
Yep.
get in there, bro. You gotta get in there,
Yeah.
and it's that's the biggest thing, man. And you just gotta have guys stand on their heads,
Yep.
fucking have big moments like the Rangers had fucking Eovaldi and Montgomery pitch fucking gems after gem. Now both those dudes fucking blow this year.
Yep.
But that's
Which is usually how it happens.
how the playoffs work, man. That's the craziness of the playoffs.
Let's see. Do we have divisional numbers? NL West. Padres are plus 500.
That's I don't think that's bad, but only 2 games back. But they also don't play that many more games against the Dodgers.
3 games back. That's
Three
definitely something
games.
to dive into the schedule. See who has the more favorable.
Well, the thing that would make it easier too is if they played each other like two more times, but I think they play each other once more, one more set, 3-game series if
Yeah.
they play each other at all.
They play each other three more times.
Yeah. 3-game series in LA, right?
In LA. Ooh, Colorado has six, or sorry, it's LA has six against Colorado to end the season. Three versus Colorado, three versus San Diego, and then three at Colorado is the last three.
Damn. The Rockies might be ready for Cancun at that point too.
Yeah,
But I don't know, they still play hard, dude. That team, it's a fucking weird team, man. Like their lineup is pretty decent, but they just cannot fucking pitch at all.
San Diego definitely has the more difficult schedule. They got the Twins, the Mets, the Cardinals, the Rays, Detroit, six against San Francisco, two against Seattle, Houston, Chicago, LA, and Arizona. LA has Seattle, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, four against Arizona, two against LA Angels, three against Cleveland, Chicago, four against Atlanta, Miami, Colorado, San Diego, Colorado. I don't know if they're catching that division.
Yeah, but the Dodgers don't have that much pitching, bro.
That's true.
Like they might lose games that like they really should win because they just can't. They don't have the starting rotation.
Hmm.
And even their bullpen's hella shaky now. Michael Kopech's like the only guy that they really trust in there right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to some NFL news. So Gardner Minshew named the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. Big news, little news.
Who cares? They're gonna suck. That
Yeah,
offense is horrible.
yeah, I think the offense can be really bad, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a
Uh,
bad team.
yeah. I just wonder when Aiden O'Connell's gonna come back in and play. I mean, Gardner Minshew's getting old, isn't he?
Oh, he's probably like 30,
Oh,
31.
okay, so not too.
I think I mean Gardner's a fine quarterback, dude, but he's like a backup quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not a guy that should be starting for an entire season. Like he's
Hmm.
a guy that will save you. You know that can win you a couple of games when your starting quarterback goes down. That's the problem with the Raiders. They don't have a starting quarterback.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you don't have a starting quarterback in a league that's driven by quarterback play, like it really hinders how good your team can be. And we've seen this time and time again. Like, when's the last time a